live in 3, 2.
Okay, hi guys. I hope everyone made it on okay. Maybe let us know if you can hear us. If not, we'll just get started. I'm Jaden Crouch. I'm from the Redbud Physical Therapy downtown at 4th and Cincinnati. We are here at the downtown YMCA today doing our first Lunch and Learn, hopefully of many. We will be talking about neck pain. So as we are all working from home, it may be a common problem that we're experiencing as adjusting to new monitor heights, new chairs, new desks, all the fun things that are coming with working from home. So first off is some fun facts about our neck. I think it's very interesting that giraffes only have 7 vertebrae in their neck, which is exactly the same as humans. So we're working with the same bone structure, but not quite as long. The other fun fact is one of our Greek gods, Atlas, is actually the name of our first vertebrae in the spine. Atlas was known for carrying the weight of the world on his shoulders, and that's exactly what your very first vertebrae does. It carries the weight of your head on your shoulders. So last off, unfortunate truth is that we are shrinking. Gravity is hard on our body. Every 10 years, we actually shrink about 1/3 of an inch. So hopefully you started off tall because you're getting shorter. Okay, so on to anatomy. You may already know this, but some of the primary structures of our spine are the vertebral bodies, which make up the spinal column. And in between each vertebral body, we have our discs. And then coming out away from the discs, we have our nerve roots. Those nerve roots extend all the way out into the extremities of our body. The main 3 in the upper arm are your radial nerve, your ulnar nerve, and your median nerve. And we can talk a little more about that if you have heard those names and maybe some common problems associated with those specific nerves. So moving on, I like to break things down with the neck into 3 primary problem areas. So we have muscle problems, joint problems, and nerve problems. So why would you think one problem was what it was more than the other? So some common things that I hear patients say with muscle problems is they have tightness, stiffness, maybe dull ache, or even sometimes a hot poker in their neck. So nerve problems are usually talked about a little bit different. They are usually an odd tightness that you can't identify as a muscle tightness. They can also be numbness and tingling, probably the more common, or burning down the arm, which can be concerning if it's not a feeling that you're familiar with. So the last problem that we'll be discussing is joint problems. And I'll give this with a caveat of joint problems are tricky. And I'll encourage you that if you've had any sort of acute injury, like a motor vehicle accident or some sort of sport-related trauma, that's when you should really seek out other medical treatment. So now that we've broken down each problem by some of the symptoms you might have, let's move on to how we can fix those problems, because that's really why we're here, is not to focus on the pain, but to focus on our function and how we can improve that. So first off, I like to address posture. And I'm going to pull a chair around here, and we're going to talk about how you can fix things at home. Okay, so when you're sitting in your desk chair, first thing I want you to identify is where is your monitor in space? Is it down low because you're on a laptop, or is it at eye level? This eye level position is going to be ideal so that your head is not too far down or looking too far up. From there, we're gonna look at where is your keyboard. This is where it gets kind of tricky because a lot of us are working with at-home laptops. So if our screen is here, our laptop is here, which may be ideal for our shoulders, but not ideal for our neck. So we really want to find a happy medium. The monitor at eye level, and you get a separate keyboard attachment to rest on your kitchen table or your desk that can really have your elbows at about a 90-degree level. And from there, your neck is not strained as your arms are not strained because you're up here or down here. Last off is foot position. I know when we're at home, we might be a little more relaxed or even in our comfy clothes. So we're tempted to sit with our legs crossed, lean back, maybe a foot under us, maybe even crisscross applesauce. All of these ways are fine in a limited time period, but my main suggestion would be feet flat on the floor. You can elevate with a box or books, and your back rested against the seat. So the more space you have touching, whether it's the floor or the chair, the more your joints will be supported, taking a load off of your muscles. Okay, we've got posture knocked out. We are on to treatment. I blocked treatments off into 3 different categories. I'd like you to take the time to kind of figure out where you're at. If maybe your neck pain is pretty acute, it's really been bothering you, you should start at the beginner level and then work your way up to intermediate and advanced. I'm going to walk through each category separate, and we can talk about the ways you can adapt things at home at the Q&A at the end if you have any questions. So first off, we're going through a stretch that will help with the posture. You're going to find this easiest in a doorway at home. So if you have your door frame here, you're going to stand with your hands touching the door frame. Here you are. Next, you're going to take one foot and step through, stretching out the front of your chest. Oftentimes during the day, we get fatigued. We find ourselves in this rounded shoulder position. So this Pec Stretch for the beginners is a great way to open up the chest and decrease that rounded shoulder position you may have had throughout the day. So next thing that we like to address, other than rounded shoulders where we sit, is this forward head position. So what you'll do is you'll think about taking your chin straight back toward what would be an Adam's apple if you have one, or maybe you do have one. So from the side, you can see here, I'm going to take my chin straight back. What the often mistake that I see people make is bringing their head up or down. Keep your head looking straight forward. Bring the wall toward you and creep away from it. So you're bringing that chin straight back. It's not a very attractive position, but it is great to stretch out the muscles in the back of your neck and to alleviate this posture, which we all often assume. Okay, next part of the body, we've addressed chest and head. We're going to reach back for our scapulas here by bringing our shoulder blades back and down. So by bringing our shoulder blades back and down, it's a scapular retraction, and holding, you're solidifying that stretch that you just performed through the doorway. The last exercise is my personal favorite, and it addresses the tension that we have in our upper shoulders here. So sitting at your desk, you can hold on to your seat, pull those shoulder blades down, And you're gonna take your ear to your shoulder, right here. So you should feel the stretch right along the opposite side from the ear and the shoulder, and your shoulder blade is pulling down toward your hand. Okay, you can do this on both sides. You'll be holding this for at least 90 seconds. However you want to break that up. 90 seconds is generally the rule of thumb to expand muscle fibers. Anytime shorter than that may not make that much of a difference. So that was all the beginning exercises. These are great for anyone. Even if you have more experience, you can always start here. So the intermediate exercises, they start with the same stretch, the doorway stretch, opening up the pecs here. But next, we're gonna modify the chin tuck to make it a little more advanced. You can find a ball like this probably around the house. It can be a basketball, it could be a volleyball, it could even be one of the Disney character balls that you typically see at the dollar store. That's actually the best one because it's a little softer. This here is just a Pilates ball off of Amazon. I use it for many things, so it's a good purchase too. This will be behind your head. And then you're completing the same motion where your chin goes straight back towards what you would think of as your Adam's apple and coming forward. You could hold this for about 10 seconds at a time and do 10 rounds of it to really stretch out the back of your neck and strengthen the front of your neck. Next exercise is advancing the scapular retraction. So previously, we brought our shoulders back and down and held. But now, I'm not sure how far I can step out of the frame here, but we'll see. If you have a band at home, it may or may not have some sort of attachment to a hook, a door frame, or you can find bands at most stores, Target, Walmart. I like to tie a knot in the middle of the band because this is an easy way to secure it in a door frame. So would the door be out of the frame? Nope. Okay, we're trying it then. You would shut the knot in the door. Got it. Okay, from there, you're pulling your shoulder blades together just like before, except you're adding your arms to it. So squeezing the elbows behind you, squeezing the shoulder blades back and down. This is the proper form for a row, which you may have seen done with dumbbells at the gym in a bent forward position. That's just a little more advanced. Okay, last thing, we're adding in some rotation here with the neck, still in the intermediate category. Taking our ball back behind the head, we're gonna find our chin tuck, and then holding that tuck, you turn side to side. If you're feeling like you have a crick in your neck, this might actually be the key to success. Okay, on to the advanced round. We're gonna move the camera down just a bit. I will be on the floor. Okay, so we're gonna start off with our pec stretch. Previously, we were doing it in the doorway. Now we will be doing it on our foam roll in the floor. So you have your foam roll here. The easiest way to get on a foam roll, it is not easy, but the easiest way is to sit like so. You're going to push up through your palms as if you're doing a tricep dip and lift your body into a bridge and relax back. From there, you can push through your heels to inchworm back onto the foam roll. You may be tempted to roll side to side. Use those hands to support you. Don't fall off a table if you are on one or a bed. From here, you're going to bring your hands into the same W position that you had in the doorway. Here we are. It may also look like a field goal. Totally relax into this position, feeling the stretch through your chest. Okay. Now that we've made it through the hardest one, we're going to advance the chin tuck. So first chin tuck was just standing or sitting. The second chin tuck was with the ball on the wall. And the last most advanced chin tuck will be on your hands and knees here. So what I want to caution everyone is, if you have knee problems or you have shoulder problems, be careful. This position would put pressure on both. So, standing here, I guess kneeling here, we're going to bring that head straight back up towards the ceiling, completing the same chin tuck and holding. This is another 10-second hold, 10 times. Keep in mind, we want the spine to be in the best position possible. So no sagging, nice and straight, pushing through the shoulders, bringing the chin up towards the throat, and holding there. Okay, now we're going to advance that row position. This is one of my favorite exercises. It's great for neck health. It's also great for shoulder and back health. So we've got our exercise ball here. I'm going to have you lie on your tummy across the ball. Am I still in the screen? Okay. Your hands are going to go straight out into a T position. The kicker here that most people do is they turn their thumbs down. This is not correct. You should bring your thumbs up toward the ceiling. If this is too easy, you may add small hand weights. You're going to lower an inch, lift an inch, lower an inch, lift an inch. This is a T. Our next direction is going to be a Y. Your thumbs are still toward the ceiling. Lower an inch, lift an inch, lower an inch, lift an inch. One more fine point to remember is during that exercise, you should maintain the chin tuck that we previously talked about. Okay, last stretch. This can be for all categories. You'll use a towel. I personally like a tea towel. And you're going to make 2 hot dog folds. So lengthwise. From here, you'll take the towel. You're going to put it at the base of your skull here. From there, you'll take one hand down and one hand across. This is going to help you turn your neck a little more than you could actively and really stretch out the upper spine after a long day of muscle stiffness. Okay, now that we have elevated our heart rate, it's time to relax. One of the key points to neck pain is we carry our stress there. So if our stress is here through our shoulders, let's help eliminate some stress. So we're going to go into a supine position. We're lying down on our back. Can you still see me? Good. Okay, I want you to put one hand on your heart and one hand on your belly. Oftentimes when we're stressed, we breathe through our chest. So you may feel your hand on your chest rise and fall. This is incorrect. So with your hand on your belly, I want you to inhale and expand your belly, but your chest should not move. This diaphragm activity can help lower stress levels, helping with your neck tension. Okay, so we have made it through all of the exercises. And the last part that I want to mention is if you do in fact have neck pain, you have had an injury, maybe a motor vehicle accident, maybe a sports trauma, maybe something else wild happened, a fall. I will encourage you to seek medical treatment if you feel you need so. And if you feel like you need physical therapy, a question I often get is, do I need to see my doctor first? So the simple answer is maybe. Private insurers typically do not require a physician referral. So you can come to physical therapy for 30 days without a doctor's signature. This is a great way to have a physical therapist evaluate you and see if it is something you need to seek out a physician's consultation for, or maybe you can improve in that short 30-day time frame and be back to whatever you'd like to do. Last off is I'd love to say thank you so much to the YMCA for hosting our Lunch and Learn. We are so excited. I hope this provided lots of helpful info. And this brings us right into the Q&A session. If anyone has any questions, I'm always here downtown. I'm here 5 days a week if you have questions. But if not, we'd love to hear them now. So go ahead. Nope. Okay, well, I'm also going to give out my email address if anyone is too shy to have any questions on our YouTube Live. You can always email me, and it's Jadyn, Jadyn, .Crooch, CROOCH, @redbudpt.com. So I hope this helped everyone. Thank you so much for attending.